Thank you, Senator Rono. Senator Cotton, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you both for your appearance. Secretary Wormuth, when you were here for your confirmation hearing, you agreed with me that the Army University Press should not remove the term Union Army from its publications. Have you had a chance to address that issue yet?
Senator Cotton, I apologize. I have not had the chance to address that yet, given that I've been here 3 weeks. But as I said to you in my hearing, I will look into that and talk to the folks at Army University Press.
Thank you. I understand it's been a short time and you've got a lot of other pressing issues. But as I said then, as I'll say again, if it's good enough for U.S. Grant, I think it's good enough for our troopers today. For both Secretary Wormuth and General McConville, I want to speak to you about the nearly decade-long effort to replace the Army physical fitness test with the Army combat fitness test to test our soldiers on physical fitness that is a bit more applicable to the task on the battlefield, also to make it gender neutral. There are reports of further combat fitness test redesigns and changing standards associated with the test that have made for a somewhat confusing story and heated debate. Can you clarify for us the obstacles that are currently facing the combat fitness test, whether it will remain gender neutral, and how the Army is seeking to implement the test now?
Certainly, Senator, and again, I would ask General McConville to build on my answer, but first of all, it's very important that we have our soldiers be physically fit for a demanding environment on the future battlefield, and one of the reasons that the Army has pursued the ACFT is to try to raise our overall fitness level while reducing injuries. So that was, the impetus. We are continuing to look at how to finalize the design for the ACFT. We are continuing to have gender-neutral standards. We have made some changes, as you know, moving from the leg tuck to making the plank an option. But we are waiting for the results of a study from RAND that has been, required by Congress, and we're not going to make any final decisions about the test until we have the results of that and we can understand how the test is going to both improve our fitness, but also potentially what it might do in terms of our ability to recruit specialized skills like cyber and doctors and things of that nature. But why don't I let the chiefs build?
I think the science behind the Army Combat Fitness Test is really about reducing injuries. As we've taken a look at the Army Physical Fitness Test in fact, I was there when it was implemented, I hate to say, it was 40 years ago. And it's time to transform that test to take advantage of the capabilities we have today. As we take a look at it, as the Secretary said, we are examining the impact on the force. I took it last week for record. I think it's a good test. And what we want to do is move forward in implementation based on the study. And I think it's going to have a more fit force, which is something that we need as we move in the future.
You want to share your score for the record?
478 for the record.
That's good. I'm sure all your Joes around the world are going to try to beat that now.
That's right.
General, are you committed as well to maintaining gender neutrality on the test?
I am.
Is there any consideration to pegging scores towards branch or MOS?
Well, I think the future, at least if I could make a recommendation in the future, is as we move to more of a talent management model in the Army. If you're Airborne Ranger, which is a fitness type organization, you're in the 101st Airborne Division, you're in the 82nd. Well, I would say from talent management, you want people with a certain level of fitness. If you're doing something else that, you're a neurosurgeon, you might be more concerned with that person can operate at a level 6 level than, lead the, battalion and PT. So I think what we want to get to is, at least I do, is move away from an industrial age personnel management system to a 21st century talent management system where we recruit people, we select people, and we quite frankly promote people based on the knowledge, skills, behaviors that they have within their specialized area. But we still want a certain level of fitness in the Army.
Yeah, I think the Army needs to consider that. Loading around into a tank gun or howitzer has to be done whether you're a man or a woman.
That's right.
It requires a certain level of physical fitness, but that's a different level of physical fitness than it takes to be a flight surgeon or to be a cybersecurity specialist. One last question for you, General. In the last decade, I think maybe when you were Vice Chief, the Army stood up the Security Force Assistance Brigades.
Yes.
They were primarily active in Afghanistan. Now that we'll be out of Afghanistan in a few weeks, and our national security strategy has postured towards competition against near-peer rivals like China and Russia. What do you see as the future of those SFABs, and what role are they going to play for the Army in the future?
No, they are in tremendous demand. You know, the question was, what are you doing in Indo-Pacific? The 5th Security Force Assistance Brigade is active. They are employed. They are building partner and allies capacity and capability, and quite frankly, they are one of the hottest items that are out in each combatant commanders, providing great options to professionalizing the force within these countries. And as we talked about, we're getting our strength not only from having a strong military, but through our allies and partners, and they are instrumental in doing that, and they are building tremendous relationships for us right now as we speak. So each of the Security Force Assistance Brigades is oriented to a combatant commander, and they are using them in very well.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Secretary.